next thing we're going to learn...
This double consonant session is a good way of teaching one of our most common word constructs. A word like super, with a single P in the middle, has a different sound and a different meaning to the word supper, with a double P. The word diner is different to the word dinner, and so on. The addition of the extra consonant changes the vowel sound from long to short.
It's often hard for children to hear because words like dinner have two Ds in the two N's in the middle, but you can't hear them. Whereas a word like melted, you can hear the L and the T in the middle. So it's a way of children just trying to remember to spell those words correctly, because obviously if you want to spell supper and you put super, you've made a completely different word. So it's to help them to develop that spelling skill.
Useful resources for teaching this session might include whiteboards and coloured markers, long and short vowel cards, a list of words that change when consonants double, picture cards with matching written sentences.
We've looked at breaking words into syllables for reading, but now we're going to look at a specific pattern, which I like to call the rabbit pattern.
Jude refers to double consonant words as rabbit words. The word rabbit is itself an example, and the addition of a pair of rabbit ears over the double B is a strong visual way to remember the principle.
Rabbit pattern words are words like this one, and this one. What does it say?
Batata.
In the session, Jude uses a number of different ways to get the learners to recognise double consonant words, using cards to show the shapes of the words and then building words from individual syllables.
I would get children to think in syllables and try and spell the syllables together. It doesn't work with all children, but I think that's a strategy that I would use with the children, yes.
I stepped on a funny insect and flattened it.
Flattened it.
Flattened it.
A final exercise has the learners using word cards to make sentences that match pictures. It shows they can find the words with the right meanings.
Well, you try to appeal to all of the senses, so you want the eyes to see things, the ears to hear them perhaps at the same time. You want to appeal to different parts of their memory, so the kinesthetic activities appeal to a different part of the memory. And I always think of a mine shaft, if you like. If you go down a mine shaft, you've got a prop across the top, two down either side maybe, and if one of them breaks or bends, then you really have to rely on the others to hold everything up. And that's a bit like dealing with dyslexia. I think if you've got a weak part of your memory that isn't, perhaps hasn't got the recall that it needs, then perhaps the visual memory or the episodic memory for games and activities will help to help you recall that piece of information. If you approach it on the level of appealing to all of the senses and linking them together, then your teaching's more in the right ballpark, definitely. Well done. I think you've both done really well. Thank you.
So, to recap the key points for teaching the double consonants. Make sure the learners understand the principles of syllables. Show plenty of examples of double consonant words. Get the learners to build words from syllable cards. Then get the learners to build sentences from those constructed words. Make it a writing exercise too.